Meta has officially rolled out their Andromeda update by the end of July 2025, which has meant killing sales for multiple online businesses towards the end of the summer. And if you want to learn exactly what to do to survive this new algorithm change, then stick around because I'll be sharing with you in today's video the step-by-step process to thriving in this Andromeda era. So first and foremost, let's define what exactly happened in this update. So this was an update that was announced towards the end of 2022. The Meta said they were working on this. In April 2025, they started rolling this out gradually towards ad accounts. And by the end of July 2025 is when they fully actioned the entire update across every single ad account. Okay, if you just simply Google Meta Andromeda, you're probably gonna come across this engineering at Meta article right here, which kind of tells you more the nitty-gritty of the backend of what it means in their data infrastructure, but that's not really relevant for us marketers. Now, they also have this article right here published in April at the time of them starting to roll out this update right here, titled The Creative Advantage, Unlocking the Power of Diversification with Meta and Andromeda. Okay, I love this specific article right here from Lucid Media, which I think is just very, very good representation of what this update is about. And so I kind of want to use their article right here to detail what's happening right now in the space. And so what we've seen before and what we already knew as online marketers is that creative has become the new targeting over the last few years. So that's not new. What I mean by this is we were taken out from a media buyer's role and into a creative role, say as of 2022, 2023. So Meta has started to gradually remove interest and even lookalikes and pushing you towards what they call Advantage Plus, right? So a lot of us have seen Advantage Plus targeting in our ad accounts. And so that meant that Meta was kind of forcing us in a creative role. And so up until now, what usually happened is this, right? And even myself on the channel has been a very proponent of using CBO ads, because what ended up happening with CBO campaigns was this. It was you upload a few creatives, Meta finds the best performing ones, the winning creatives get most of the ad spend allocated to it, and when it fatigues, you just kill it off, you upload new creatives, and that's it. So it was pretty simple in that regards. I wouldn't say now it got more complex, but what's happening is this: no single creative dominates. And I see this across a lot of accounts right now. Even in CBO campaigns or in Advantage Plus shopping campaigns, Meta doesn't just aggregate a lot of the ad spend on a single ad. It's very rare now that we get one ad that just dramatically takes like 80% of the ad spend on this campaign. Nowadays, the ad spend seems to be a little bit more evenly split out. So if you have like 10 ads on this campaign or ad set, then all 10 ads are getting some of the ad spend. So Meta tries to be a little more fair, if you want, with those ads. So the algorithm rotates between these different creative messaging, rewards the ads that address specific customer situations. So this, I want to touch on those 2 points because I think this is where a lot of the game is won right now for marketers. Meta punishes generic one-size-fits-all messaging and rewards ads that address specific customer situations. So a lot of people usually try to find the sum of a market in order to have one ad that really took all of the budget. Because if we go back to this way of the algorithm working to the new way of the algorithm working out, so this way here meant that since Meta in an A+ campaign or in a CBO campaign tended to favor 1 or 2 creatives, you had to make sure that this creative was highly scalable. And for this creative to become highly scalable, it really had to address the sum of your market. And I'll give you a great example right here. One of our clients that we've been doing consulting with that has faced this exact problem right now, where he's doing real estate cash offers. And in the real estate cash offer game, up until now, his winning ad creatives were usually something along the lines of like, look, we're gonna buy your house right now, cash offer, no hassle. Would you need this money for debt, for your kids' school, college funds, for an unexpected expense? It doesn't matter. We're just gonna give you the best offer right now. And again, we're gonna close in 7 days. Something like that, okay? Generally speaking, that's what his best performing ads sounded like. That was very generic, okay? Very broad ad. What's working now is an ad creative is an example where the creator in the ad is, say, an African-American person, and that person, as an example, talks about specifically being in debt, and therefore they were super happy to find out that cash offers helped them get out of debt. They got a really fair offer, closed fast for their home, and got, again, all the money they look for to clear their debt. That's like persona specific and very like use case specific. Is that a super widespread problem that can really scale on that single creative and be the one creative to power the entire ad account? Probably not, but can we do a lot of different variations of that, where maybe now we also do ads tailored to 40-year-old crowd, and they've all lost a parent recently, and now because their parents died, they are ending up with a succession of a new property, and they don't want this property, so they'd rather have a real estate, they'd rather have a cash offer for their property to get rid of it fast. And that's another great ad to do, right? But are those the most scalable ads that are somewhat kind of broad enough for the algorithm to really pick up and put all the spend on those creatives? No. So you need to start stacking a lot of different personas and creative angles essentially in the account, which Meta again more evenly distributes budget across those nowadays, which that's really what helps you scale and have a lift in the account right here. So what it says right here, it's before Andromeda, you could have 5 similar ads with slightly different hooks, and one would typically win and get most of the budget. Now you need 15 different ads right here addressing different customer motivations, and the algorithm actively rotates between them to match specific audiences right here. So the two solutions you usually see are the two right here, and that's what I also kind of came across on Reddit. Most people that I found speaking on Reddit are really talking about volume. They're like, dude, you got to do a lot more creatives. Like nowadays, you got to do 10 to 15 ads minimum per ad set, okay? That is one part of the solution, because honestly, it's not sustainable for a lot of businesses to do this many creatives on a given week. So here, right here, it's like path 1, high volume creative production, okay? You do 50 creatives per week, 200 ads per month, massive time and resources commitment, higher creative production costs, constant campaign management required. It's great for larger businesses with big creative teams, e-commerce brands, which right now, e-com brands are at an utter advantage in this space, because since e-com brands are physical product focused, you can use Meta's dynamic capabilities where it not only pulls products out from your website automatically, and it uses their own AI creative tools that they have on Meta to create a bunch of variations, since those are like physical products. Harder to do though with online coaches or online service-based businesses. And so for most coaches and online service-based businesses, I actually recommend more the second path right here, which basically this is like, instead of having 15 variations of the same messages, which a lot of us in this space, what we tended to do is like same body, a gazillion different hooks. Now it's like, well, create different concepts entirely, where the persona is different, the mass market desire is different, the awareness level in the ad is also different, the hook pattern that you use is different, right? And so therefore you create different combinations of concepts all together, which ends up splitting your ad spend in a way in which is a lot more efficient with this update right here. So I'm a lot more of the creative diversity angle, because for most people, it's just simply not sustainable to pump out like 200 ads in a month. And so really, I think if you want to see the silver lining of this update is that they're pushing you to use more of AI. Because if this update either favors creative diversity or volume, then the only way to really achieve volume at a low cost is to rely on AI. And so anybody who hasn't done it yet and is watching this video, one of the lessons I would get is, if you can, focus on static ad production, which static ad production with like DALL-E or Midjourney or any AI models is honestly incredibly accurate. And we've been doing this for a lot of our e-commerce brands and info product or coaching clients that we've been working with at the agency. And so therefore, that's one way to speed up your production and just ramp up the amount of creatives that you do. Second, when it comes to anything that is video based, what I'd say is this is where you kind of overlap between those two paths, because path 2 right here, when looking at it, when it comes to creating better messaging, that's great. But then it's like, how do you do this without spending too much time trying to think about all those different personas? Well, we've built like a tool that we call our AI ad engine internally in our business, which helps us essentially through an agent. We're able to like create a lot of different variations of scripts that tailor to different personas, different mass market desires and awareness levels, which all of which essentially are more so aligned now with this creative diversity angle. And by the way, I'm gonna put up a screenshot on screen right now of what this tool looks like. We've been working hard on this over the last few months and making this available to all of our agency and our ad engine inner circle clients. So if you want to implement a tool that really helps you speed up creative production and use AI to create a lot more diversity in your creative concepts while making sure they're aligned with marketing fundamentals and market research, then check out the link below and join our ad engine inner circle today to get first dibs on access to our AI ad engine tool that we've had now internally for some time. If we go back to Meta's words in themselves and why they're doing this Meta Andromeda, what they see right here is, and I'm just gonna quote this first line, it's like, what does the next generation AI model have to do with creative diversification? The use of generative AI combined with automation makes it easier for advertisers to upload more volume and diversity of creative, creating more eligible ads for personalization. I can't remember exactly where it was that I read this number, but I think it was something along the lines of Meta has seen something like 100 times more ad creatives uploaded to their ads manager platform in the last 2 years. And that's why they're kind of changing their algorithm, because the volume of creatives and therefore therefore the traditional way that Meta was doing auctions and bidding on the algorithm just didn't work anymore because there was so much more creative volume on the platform. So now that AI is becoming more predominant use across advertisers, and that Meta is incentivizing you to use their own AI platform on their ads manager, which by the way, again, only works right now for e-commerce brands, then it just makes sense for them to go towards an AI-centric approach when it comes to distribution here of content. And to kind of show you what I mean by this and how we're adapting to this number 2 solution that I said earlier, which is focused on creative diversity. It's like if you look into one of our ad accounts right now, usually your different ad concepts kind of look like this. It's like ad 1 is going to be on desire A. So let's say, and as an example, I want to make more money. Desire B might be something along the lines of like, I want more time or location freedom, as an example. So therefore, like we focus on different desires usually per ad. And then we also have different awareness levels per ad. So as an example, hey, here you could start with desire testing. So completely different desire would mean that your entire like script is different, because here, if you're focusing on say, I want to make more money, then you're not going to talk about the same thing in the ad than if you were talking about, I want more time freedom. But the awareness level can be the same. So awareness level being, if we remember, you know, we have right here, think I have this right there, unaware, problem aware, solution aware, product aware, most aware. And therefore, you know, at each of these awareness levels, you need like more or less proof if you want, like in your ad, to convince this person as to whether or not they should buy from you. And so an unaware ad is somebody that you don't even know why they would want to make more money online. So it's like, I'm asking questions as like, why should I make more money? Or like, why is like inflation going up every year and my savings seems to be going away? It's like, it's a lot of why questions. Whereas a product aware person is like, I want to make more money online. I know that starting an agency as an example is the right way to do it. Now, who's the best person to buy from, right? So like, it's totally different game when you change the awareness level. So usually the variables that we're using in the back end with our own AI software to create scripts for ads is literally just plugging in different desires, plugging in different awareness levels, which already there, both of these completely impact the way the script is written. And then usually we're going to have other variables such as like different personas we're targeting, right? Because I want to make more money. Could be a stay-at-home mom who needs to make an extra income, or it could also be as simple as like a young kid in his, you know, late teens, early 20s, who just like actually doesn't want to go to regular 9-to-5 pat, you know? So it's like, it could be 2 completely different personas. So different persona, different desire, different awareness level usually is how we best go about structuring our new scripts that we make, which ensure that we have enough diversification across our different creatives, which allows us to kind of have a horizontal base of different ad concepts, which work well in this Andromeda update as of right now, and is my recommendation to you with your own ad account if you're watching this video. If you want to learn more in depth exactly how to build ad concepts, first of all, using AI and making sure that they're all different from each other or as much as possible, I invite you to check out, I have a 2 hours and 40 minutes free video on my channel. If you go right here to
if you've been looking through YouTube,
you go right here, full Facebook ads course, it says for e-com, but it honestly works for any sort of online business, so coaching, agencies, info product, name it. Watch it all the way through. The same process applies for all of these businesses that I just mentioned, and it'll help you again thrive in this Andromeda update right here. We've started preparing for it. Again, this was 10 months ago, which is literally at the start of 2025. As soon as we heard that this update was going to be something game-changing for the industry, we started pivoting our approach, and I invite you again to do the same. So have an amazing day, and I'll be seeing you in the next video. Peace.